Hey guys, what is up? Carter here. Got another video for you. This is on the Reate District 9 Plus. This thing is sweet. Holy crap, this is an amazing knife. It is an amazing knife. So, first, let's get this out of the way. This is made in China. It's true. It's made in China from Reate. From a really cool, small company headed up by one guy. He's got a handful of employees, some really nice CNC machines, and a passion for knives. We can get into a discussion about Chinese-made knives and the new wave of Chinese knives coming into the country. I've kind of already talked about that, but not completely. We can talk about that another time. Point of this video is to just review this knife in case you are wondering if this is a, first of all, if you're wondering if this is a good knife for you to get, second of all, which was my case, is it worth upgrading from the regular District 9 A or B to this knife, or if you should just stick to the District 9 A or B that you already have. So let's get into that. The specifications on this knife, what is it, 3.75 inch blade, somewhere around there. Yep, 3.75 inch blade. Overall length is about 8 3/4, so kind of on the larger side of knives, so to speak. And the weight on this, and I'll get both weights since we're getting a weight right now, and we do not want a 0.8 ounce marker. We want 0. So the weight on this is 6.2 ounces. Now, the weight on the original knife is a whopping 7.7 ounces. And you feel that extra weight. The second I took this out of the package, I was blown away at how much nicer this knife feels. How much nicer this knife feels. Because I debated for a long time if I was going to upgrade to the Plus. If I was going to keep them both, if I was going to sell this one. That came later after I got it. But I went back and forth. 1 minute I was like, no, I've got a District 9. I'll just, that's my knife. I don't really care. I don't like it that much that I want to upgrade, spend the extra cash, just get the upgraded version. Because I'd heard the differences, but it is one thing to hear the differences, hear the ounce differences and the different features and things like that, and actually experience it firsthand when you pick it up. And I gotta say, this knife blows this one out of the frickin' water. It really does. It gets everything right. Everything that kind of held me back on this from absolutely loving the District 9, and I like this knife, this thing takes care of in spades. I'm really hoping they offer some more blade grinds, blade types in this knife, similar to a Tonto, something like that. But I love the Bowie shape. I love clip point knives. You guys know that. I talk about it all the time. So I was really excited to get this. So I went with the stonewashed, acid washed version. Partially, I think that's the one that I really wanted, but also this is the one that I got a good deal on. I came across at quite a bit below regular retail, and so I jumped on it. So it was kind of meant to be, because this is the version I probably would have went with anyways. So this also comes in just a regular stonewash finish, similar to this 9B right here. Clip point blade. Same thickness on the blade. I mean, everything is very similar, and it looks very similar. But the details are in the devil. The devil's in the details. What makes this knife really amazing, and it's not just the fact that they lightened it up. It's the balance point on this knife is perfect. It's like right here. It feels so good in the hand. One of the biggest problems I had with the original version is the handle is so freaking heavy. And you don't even realize kind of how out of place it is until you hold this one. The other complaint I had, I'm all over the place, guys, I'm sorry. The other complaint that I had with this one that I mentioned in my review with this knife is in the closed position you got a lot of squish here, simply because they use the lock bar to stop the knife in the closed position. This one, they somehow kind of rectified that. It doesn't really have nearly as much squishiness. A little bit, but not nearly as much. Everything else is really perfect on this knife. Flips really well. Let's see if we can flip it with a broken detent here. Yep, you can flip it without even using the detent and having the knife almost freaking open. That's due to the ceramic bearing system, ceramic detent ball in there. You have the lock bar insert, per usual. You have a ramp, which I don't know if you can see. A ramp in this side of the lock face so that you don't have that awkward little piece where it hits the detent ball and it kind of sticks. I mean, it obviously does a little bit. Not nearly as much if it didn't have that ramp right there. Same oversized pivot, same beautiful hardware. This one trades the kind of roto block style deal for a beautiful copper kind of quasi 45 caliber shell casing right there. That's so popular. Looks really nice, little bit of color. The people I show this to really love the way that color kind of just sings and sets off on here. But the biggest changes that were made to this knife is the fact that it's now contoured instead of blocky. It's not as thick, it's a lot thinner. So it's similar to the difference between a regular Strider Lego and the CC version. You can see how it's contoured right there. Got really cool milling marks going on right here. But it also, inside, which you cannot see unless I get some more lighting here, it has, you can see right there, milled out pockets to reduce weight. It has, you can see right up here, has all these pockets milled out inside of the handles, both sides. And that is what really helps reduce the weight. I also like the slightly earlier lockup this has. Really, really nice. Perfectly centered. These Reate knives come with spare washers and some screws, lock bar insert. Comes with extra stuff, which I really, really like, because that means you don't have to send it in just for small stuff. You can take care of it yourself. Absolutely beautiful. So if you're wondering if you should be upgrading your Reate District 9 to the Plus version, I would say yes, absolutely. And if you're wondering if you should get one of these knives, I would say yes. Now the retail on these are around $260, whereas the retail, or not the recommended retail, but just kind of what they're going for at stores. It was about $200 for this, about $260 for this. I would suspect you're going to see this around $220 here in the next month or two. Prices will kind of come down a little bit as the fervor settles down. Still kind of new, so you'll see the prices go down a little bit and should be able to pick it up for a little bit cheaper. But I would absolutely recommend picking up the Reate District 9 Plus. It is a beautiful knife, perfectly done. You can even see the grinds, the sharpening bevel right there. So even, so well done. Super sharp, S35 VN steel. Really, really nice. All right, guys, that's it. District 9 Plus, excellent knife. Check it out, pick it up. I highly recommend. Give me a like, give me a subscribe, comment. I'll talk to you later.